Hi and welcome. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I'm glad you're here. My name is Rachel and I also blog. In addition to the YouTube, I have a blog and it is thislovelylittle.farmhouse.com. So I'd love if you went over and visit it. I have all of my recipes as printable. You can print them out and lots of interesting stuff over there. So be sure and check that out if you're interested. And today we are going to be making a large batch, a 5-gallon batch of laundry soap. Laundry detergent, laundry soap, whatever you want to call it, the stuff you wash your clothes with. And it's kind of the same as the general recipe you see floating around. What you're going to need is Castile soap, or, the recipe that I've seen a lot of times people uses the Fells Naphtha soap. And if you look on that, it actually has the fragrances in it, which is one of the things that I really wanted to get away from. And so I am using Castile soap. I'm using the liquid. It's what I've done my last couple batches with, and I like it the best. I used the bar Castile soap the first time, grated it up, melted it on the stove like they tell you, to do. And it got super, super clumpy in my bucket. Every time I went to fill up my smaller bucket, I had to do it with the immersion blender just to get it all mixed up. It was a really big pain. So I tried the liquid and I really like it a lot. You're making liquid detergent anyway, and it doesn't do that. So I'm using Dr. Jacobs liquid Castile soap. You will need borax and super washing soda. I'm also going to put in a little bit of thieves cleaner just to give it an extra cleaning boost. You don't have to do that, it's optional, but I like it in mine because my family makes their clothes really dirty. My husband does mechanic work on the side, and his clothes are always covered in grease and never sees and dirt and everything else. And then of course my kids are farm kids and love playing in the dirt, so their clothes are always filthy too. So any extra clean and boost, I consider that a good thing. So first what you're gonna do is put your borax and your laundry, your super washing soda in your bucket with some really, really hot water. If your hot water out of your tap is not hot enough, heat it on the stove. You want it to be really good and hot so you can dissolve those two things first. So I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of each borax and the washing soda. And just be careful and try not to breathe a lot of this dust in. That would not be good. So I'm gonna do 1.5 cups. All right, I'm gonna also do 1.5 cups of the washing soda. Right, put it down in there. Get the little residue out the bottom with some hot water. I'm just going to use this gallon jar and put a gallon of really, really hot water in my bucket and dissolve those two things in the water. So once you get this dissolved pretty well, you're going to want to go ahead and add in your other ingredients, your Castile soap, and if you have any kind of laundry booster, I'm using Thieves, like I said, Thieves cleaner. So I'm going to add 2 cups of the liquid Castile soap. And then I didn't really measure for the Thieves cleaner, just a couple of little squirt there. And mix that all in real good. Okay, and now all that we have left to do is fill the rest of the bucket up with hot water. And or you could do cold water. I usually do hot just to make sure everything's really good and dissolved. Then let it sit and you're ready to use it. So we're gonna fill it up. All right, once your bucket's full, just give it a good stir. And I use this, just a recycled laundry detergent bottle that I had from a long time ago. And I just refill it every time it gets empty. I'll refill it. I've been using this detergent recipe since March of last year. So I've been using it a whole entire year. Like I said, it works well on our clothes. I will say sometimes I use more than the capful. Like that's how I measure it. I do a capful of this into my washing machine. And I also put white vinegar in as a natural odor eliminator to try to help with odors, because my husband works outside, his shirts and clothes get super sweaty and stinky, and the vinegar really makes a huge difference. He noticed the difference when I use the vinegar versus when I don't. So I do a capful of this laundry soap. I just dump some vinegar in. If I had to guess, I'd probably say a half of a cup per load. And then if I have a really, really dirty load, sometimes I will do a little bit extra of the laundry soap, like maybe a cup and a half. And I also will set my machine to extra rinse, because sometimes it has like a little bit of a powdery residue left. I'm guessing some of the wax or washing soda that maybe didn't dissolve all the way. So if you find that there's a little bit of a powdery residue left in your washing machine after you use it, just do an extra rinse on your clothes and it'll get it right out. And I know, you hear a lot of people talking about how this kind of stuff will ruin your washing machine and it'll mess up your clothes and whatever. I've been using it for a year. I know lots of other people who've used it for a really long time. Using it in my, we had just gotten a new Speed Queen washing machine because our old one went out, and I've used it in my Speed Queen. I have not had any problems. It washes the clothes well. So anyway, I hope you'll give it a try. It's just those simple ingredients and it takes no time to whip it up. So hope you'll give it a try. If you'd like the printable recipe, I'll put the link in the description to the blog post so you can go over there and print it out and have it to use. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.